Now we're going to talk about our endurance training. So as hockey players, a lot of us stuff that we do, it's quick, it's 30 seconds, you get off the ice, you get to sit down for a little bit. So the way we train is called interval training. Okay, we call it HIIT workouts, high intensity interval training. And I just want to go over a couple of the terms that I'm going to use over the course of this program so that we all make sure we're following along, we know what I'm talking about, and we don't get too confused. So the first thing, a couple different ways that I'm going to talk about each of these workouts is the ratio of training to rest. So the first option that we have is 1-to-1. That means if we do 15 seconds of work, we're going to do 15 seconds of rest. Then we're going to go back to 15 seconds of work, 15 seconds off. Okay? So then 2-to-1. 2-to-1 would obviously be, if it's work to rest ratio, if you're doing 20 seconds on, you're getting 10 seconds off. And then you do another 20, another 10 off, another 20 on, another 10 off. Okay? If we go the other way and we say 1-2, 1 work, 2 rest, we do 10 seconds of work, then we get 20 seconds off. Okay? And some of the things that we're going to do throughout this whole program is we might do 3-to-1, 1-to-3. There's a whole bunch of different ways that we can train. Because like I said at the beginning, there's no point in us going out and running 5 miles because we don't do that in a game. We go on the ice, we work as hard as we can for about 30 seconds, then we sit down for 30 to 45 seconds. Okay, so as we go through these, I'm also going to tell you a whole bunch of different ways. I'm going to list them off on here, we're going to have them online, right, that you can do these workouts. If you have a bike at home and you can't go outside, or a stationary bike at home, you can't go outside, you can use that. You can use treadmill, you can use elliptical. If you want to go outside and sprint, weather permitting, by all means go out and do that. Right? Now some of the other things that we can do, one is burpees, okay? Another, we can use stairs. We can do quick up and down on the stairs. If it's not nice enough to run, or if you don't have a bike at home, whatever it may be. Now I want to go over just a couple of our options for, let's say we don't have the bike at home, maybe we can't run, maybe we've got knee issues. I know I used to have a lot of problems running when I was a kid because of my knees. So I just want to give everybody a few options, things we can do that don't involve just sprinting, slamming our feet into the concrete a bunch. The first one's going to be a burpee. This is my personal favorite because it is the toughest. Right? It's a full body workout. For those of you that don't know what a burpee is, I'm going to explain here. So I'll go sideways. What we're going to do is I'm going to start off standing up. I'm going to drop down. I'm going to kick my feet back. I'm going to go down into the bottom of a push-up. Okay? And right away I'm popping back up. And when I get to here, I'm not just going to stand up. My feet are going to leave the ground. Okay? Now a couple things. This doesn't have to be a strict push-up, meaning when I go down, I don't have to start here, push up, and then wait and step back up. This is supposed to be fluid. This is supposed to be one motion. So when I drop down, kick out, I'm right back up. Right back up. Okay, so those are burpees. The next one we can do, say you have a soccer ball at home, or a medicine ball, or whatever it is. We can use it for toe touches. What I mean by that, okay, so we're still going quick. You can do this on the stairs too, wherever you want to. When it's my time to work, all I'm going to do is I'm going to keep replacing my feet up on top of this ball. I'm doing it as fast as I can. So when I take this foot off, immediately this foot comes back on. I do that as fast as I can for as long as I'm supposed to work. Okay? So those are two of my favorites. There's a whole bunch of different ways. If you can run, I'd suggest going out and running. If you want to switch it up, you can go into burpees. You can do shuttle sprints. Let's say you want to use the driveway. You only have, we'll say 30 feet. You're doing a lot of stopping and starting. Also really, really good for endurance. Again, those are just some of the options that we have, right? We can do a whole bunch of stuff. We don't need to, if we can't go running outside, if we're not comfortable running around the neighborhood, we don't have a track, we don't have a bike, we don't have anything at home, we can do a lot of that stuff pretty stationary and get the same benefits. Now, one last reminder that during your rest period of an intensity workout, it doesn't mean you just stand there and wait, okay? If you get done with a burpee and the timer goes off and you stand back up, we should be standing there jogging in place, right? Or doing high knees, or doing something. But we don't just stand there and wait, okay? Likewise, if we're using that ball, that timer goes off, I don't just stand here, right? I'm still jumping, I'm still moving. Okay, I don't want to stop, I'm bouncing. I want to be doing something. Okay, because even in a game, very rarely are you just sitting on the bench, right, and your heart's not still racing, you're not watching the play, you're not doing anything. We want to keep doing stuff, all right? So those are some of the essentials for high intensity interval training.